And they're off for the OLBG David Nicholson Mares Hurdle. And they got 2.5 miles thereabouts to travel and 10 flights of hurdles. Aurore d'Estravalle and wider out then to Desert Queen will be the first ones to touch down over the first flight, which they all jumped very well indeed. On the inside then is Past the Time in the yellow jacket. Melbourne Lady is next. Polly Peacham racing on the inside. Wider out then to Tara Point. Just driven along there briefly was Flute Bowl. Not sure she might have jumped that flight of hurdles particularly well, but they're going a cracking pace already here. There's already a good 20 lengths plus between first and last. The back marker is Stephanie Francis. Just in front of her is Legacy Gold at this stage. Vroum Vroum Mag is covered up by Ruby Walsh. Covered up by Ruby Walsh at the back of the field, and a slight technical glitch there. Just mentioning that Vroum Vroum Mag is towards the rear of the field, in the rear third. Racing alongside at the back of the pack there, Keppel's Queen. So they're coming towards the next flight of hurdles, jumping out in front then. A good jump there by the leader, which is still Desert Queen, leads by a couple of lengths to Aurore d'Estravalle, Melbourne Lady in third. Then past the time on the inside, the grey Tara Point, flanking Gitane de Burlay and Polly Peacham on the inner. The Governess comes next, then Lily War in the black and red colours as they make their way up the hill, having jumped the first 3 flights. Field well strung out at this stage towards the rear of the field. One of them on the inside there, Fairy Tale Theatre tracking Keppel's Queen and Vroum Vroum Mag. Ron's Dream, Rock on the Moor towards the rear with Morella Royale, then Legacy Gold, and Stephanie Francis brings up the rear. Coming up towards the last flight on the circuit here, and it's still Desert Queen and Nick Schofield, who are clear by about 4 lengths. From in second, Aurore d'Estravalle. They all jumped that well. Third then is Melbourne Lady as they race on up the hill. Past the Time is racing in 4th place. Closely pressed there by Gitane de Burlay and then Tara Point, followed by Polly Peacham, a bit of a puzzle, who were placed in the race 12 months ago. And then comes on the outside the pale blue jacket of Flute Bowl, who races right smack bang in the middle of the field, just in front of Ron's Dream on the outside. The Governess is on the inside. Vroum Vroum Mag still weighted with, racing alongside Lily War. Together towards the back of the pack as they head away from us, Keppel's Queen in there as well. Heading down towards the next flight of hurdles, and still at the back of the field then is Fairy Tale Theatre and Stephanie Francis as they go on now towards the next. And the leader jumped that extremely well indeed. All just streaming them over that there. They're all travelling pretty nicely. Still no move from Ruby yet on Vroum Vroum Mag as they continue to travel away from us down towards the 6th flight here in the OLBG Mares Hurdle, and it's still Desert Queen who's out in front by about 4 lengths. Aurore d'Estravalle has been second virtually throughout. Tara Point the Grey is just flanking Melbourne Lady on the outside of these with Gitane de Burlay. Polly Peacham is next. Then Ron's Dream behind these with Flute Bowl. Still weighted in the middle of the field. Still is Vroum Vroum Mag as the runners go across the far side now and heading left-handed now towards the flight at the top of the hill here, which is 4 from the finish. And it's still Desert Queen out in front. Hasn't seen another rival yet. In second is Aurore d'Estravalle, Tara Point, and now Vroum Vroum Mag begins to make up stylish progress on the outside, goes into about 5th place for Ruby Walsh, who still sits very quietly. Melbourne Lady still on the premises on the inside. Also with a chance as well, Polly Peacham, although she's being urged along, bit of a puzzle's got quite a bit on, is losing ground. Stephanie Francis makes ground, so too Rock on the Moor in the pale blue jacket, and Ron's Dream, the Governess, is trying to get into it as well. So they're all shuffling the pack a bit then as they come down the hill now towards the next flight, which is 3 out here as they come towards it. Desert Queen still the leader, but their advantage is getting narrower and narrower all the time. Vroum Vroum Mag jumped that in about 5th place, not the best of jumps, but she's still on the bridle. In second now, Gitane de Burlay. Vroum Vroum Mag moves up the inside, together with Rock on the Moor. Tara Point, Stephanie Francis, and wider out to the Governess, who's getting right into it in the pink colours. 2 out, 5 or 6 mares then, separated by only about a length and a half, and they're being stalked all the time by Vroum Vroum Mag as they begin to sort themselves out, turning into the home straight, and it's the Governess on the outside here with Rock on the Moor, then Gitane de Burlay. It's opened up beautifully for Vroum Vroum Mag, who begins to get closer all the time as they race on to the final flight. Rock on the Moor and Vroum Vroum Mag strikes the front. Here's the final flight now. She's over it safely. Down is the Governess when fighting for a placing, but it's Vroum Vroum Mag who's kicked in the afterburners here, and she's going to come home and complete a memorable treble for Willie Mullins, Rich Richards, Susanna Ritchie and Ruby Walsh. Rock on the Moor second, Legacy Gold's then on for third, followed by Past the Time in fourth. Gitane de Burlay was next.
Different race, same result. Vroum, Mag.